What's up YouTube, it's Shadane here. Today we're looking at a new Skyrim character build, and today we are going to take a look at the Ranger. Now, when I came up with the Ranger, I thought, what is it that has not really been done with archery before? And I couldn't think of anything. I thought to myself, really, that there was only one way to play the archery, and that's shoot arrows at the guy, and obviously that's how you play archery, so you can't get around it. But then I thought, well, whenever anybody makes an archery build, or even just it does anything to do with archery, they always say, go and try to get the Daedric bow, or get this, the best, most damaging weapons you can get. But the thing is, what I never liked about like the Daedric bow, they're so slow. Like, it takes forever to take a shot, and if you miss, it's so damaging. It could be the difference between life and death is a single shot that you missed. And that's where I sort of took a different approach with the Ranger. I kind of based it a bit off like the Lord of the Rings Ranger, or even not even him. It was the other guy, the elf guy. I forget his name now. It's been a while, but yeah. Basically, the whole point of the Ranger is speed. You want to get off shots quickly, and you want to be able to move quickly. So it's not just get the biggest, strongest, most damaging bow you can find. Damage helps in this case, but it's not the way you play the character. The whole point of the character is not speed. It's not damage, sorry. The whole point of the character is speed. So we'll take a look at that image right there. It's so perfect. I spent like 20 minutes doing the editing for that. And yeah, it actually made my computer really slow, even though I was just using preview. If any of you have a, excuse me, I'm losing it today. If any of you have a Mac and you know the preview app, it's a pretty lightweight app, but you never know. Like when doing this, the whole background of this Ranger chick in the corner here was all like bluish gray or something before. I had to edit all that out. You can probably see a bit of the outline still in the video, but yeah, that was fun. It took about 20 minutes and it slowed the crap out of my computer. Anyway, going on to skills. The first skill you will be using is archery, obviously. If you're going to be an archer, you're going to want to use archery. Alright, the next skill is light armor. And the reason I say light armor is you want to be quick, obviously. That's the whole point of this build. So if you have this heavy armor that's weighing you down all the time, well, that's not going to make much sense to you at all now, is it? You want to move quickly, so why wear the armor that makes you slow? Next off, we're going to have one-handed. I like to have one-handed. I don't actually carry like big one-handed weapons with me. I usually carry like a dagger or something. And this is really nice, especially earlier on, when like the enemies get too close to you and you don't want to keep just drawing back and shooting. It's kind of ineffective. So that's when you'd switch to your dagger and just hack away at them a bit. The next one is alchemy, and alchemy really boosts the effect of this character. And what it does, you can make poisons with this, and I love poisons when it comes to archery builds. It's just amazing, right? You can have this guy running straight at you, and then you can put a you can put a paralyze poison on the arrow, shoot it at him, and he's immobilized. Not only that, you can add damage to that. So there he is stuck and taking damage. Now picture this situation. You've got three guys coming at you. You see a big tank with like a huge axe pretty close to you running at you. You see an archer far away, and you see a mid-distance character. What do? You take out a paralyzed potion that also does damage. You shoot it at the big tank guy. He's now disabled. That lets you take care of the mid-range guy easily. You can deal with the archer and then get back onto the guy who's heavy. It saves your ass so many times if you have alchemy, excuse me. It helps so much. And that damage that you lose when you're trying to make up for speed, you can make up for that damage lost by using poisons. It's really effective. I mean, I've always hated alchemy until I played this build. This build made me love alchemy. It's amazing. The last skill I've included in the list is smithing, and this is more of like a passive skill. I don't really know why I added it other than the fact that I kind of needed a filler. It's kind of nice to like go hunting, pick up some furs, and then make armor out of the fur, but it's not really a main point of this character. I guess it could help with the damage increase that you lost with the speed, but yeah. Let's continue here if my spacebar is gonna work. Alright, so armor. You're gonna want to wear the Savior's hard. The Savior's hard. Guys, the Savior is so hard right now. Sorry, that was bad. Anyway, you're gonna want to wear the Savior's hide. Um, that is a reward for the Daedric quest. The Daedric quest of Hercene, I think it is. And if you end up killing what's his face, the werewolf guy, then you get the Savior's hide. But if you don't kill him, you get the ring instead. There's a glitch to get them both, but I'm not going to go into that. Then for your gloves and boots, you want the apparel, enter apparel here of the old gods, because they look awesome. I mean, 20% boost to archery, that's pretty good, right? And I didn't include a headdress, just because it looks better without one, I think, in my opinion. It looks good without it. You can throw anything on if you want, it doesn't matter. But for the weapons, both weapons here are included in the Dawnguard DLC, so I highly recommend you get those. This is gonna be what makes this build stand apart from the rest. Zephyr. It's a unique bow from the Lost to the Ages quest, and what it does is it fires all arrows 20% faster. Now couple that with a perk that you can get, and you're like a freaking machine gun out there. Like, it's constant rain of arrows down on the guys, and it's actually really fun to do. If you try this build, you'll love it, I'm sure. If not, well then whatever, go watch my other builds. But yeah, so Zephyr would be your main weapon. I would highly, highly recommend Zephyr if you're doing the Ranger. You could also do Oriel's bow, which I don't think it gets a speed increase, but the effects it has against undead is just like freaking awesome. Or if you go the evil side and you get the blood cursed arrows and you're the vampire, the sun thing helps a lot, so that's good for that. As I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to carry around a dagger. I don't like going too heavy with the dagger, like I don't carry on this crazy Daedric dagger. I usually go with a steel or maybe like an orcish or something, maybe an elven if I'm feeling special, you know. But yeah, usually keep it around the more baseline weapons. This is a lot of like a realist build, I just realized. Realized. But yeah, this is more like of a realist build. You're not trying to get the best of the best. This is more you want to fit into like the regular guy who just joined into the Skyrim world and then got really good with bows, or girl, whatever. But yeah, so I tend not to go to the crazy Daedric daggers that just look evil, especially with these builds. Some builds I do because it looks cool, but this one no. An alternative to the Zephyr or the Oriel's bow, if you're feeling a little more magic-y, you could use the Bound Bow spell, which has the same speed as Zephyr, which is nice, and it gives you an unlimited supply of arrows, which is cool. But the reason I don't like this is because the same thing as I said before, it's more of a purist build. Not a purist build, what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't fit with the character that you sort of build around before, right? You could go for it, but it doesn't fit really very well. And while I'm here, I want to talk about arrows as well. Don't use Daedric arrows if you're doing this build, or even ebony. Like, I usually use steel arrows, steel dagger, and Zephyr. I might go elven arrows, because, they still sort of fit, especially if I'm playing an elven character. But for this kind of build, I don't like the big Daedric stuff. It doesn't look right. It looks way off. Anyway, let's go on to the next slide. stat distribution. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice that I put 0 into magic. And if you're using bound bow, it's going to be entirely different, but let's go off this first. The whole point of this build is speed and stamina, so you need 2 into stamina, 1 into health, and none into magicka. That was sort of out of order, but whatever. 1 into health, first of all, because you do need health. You won't need as much because you're relying more on stamina and being able to move around and all that, but you still do need health because you will take damage every once in a while. So you're going to have to watch out for that. Magicka, I said no magicka because I don't use magic with this kind of build. If you do go for bound bow, you'll want to probably go probably a 1 stat distribution across the board. So 1 health, 1 magicka, 1 stamina. If you're going for bound bow, or maybe not, maybe 1 health, 2 magicka, 2 stamina. I don't know. You would have to decide on your own, but yeah. And then for stamina, 2. Because you need all that stamina for zooming and for running and sprinting and all that. So yeah, stamina is the big one here. You're gonna need. I'm so sorry. You're gonna be needing a lot of stamina for this, because again, speed. So quest lines, you're gonna have to do Lost to the Ages. Lost to the Ages is a Dawn Guard quest, and basically, I don't want to spoil it because you may not have played it, but what it is you have to go. It's like a dwarven quest, and you find this person, this ghost, and she's like, "Oh, look at this! Look what I was looking for," and my student stole my research, and then I'm trying to say this without doing spoilers, but my student stole my research, and then I died or something, and then you have to help me finish my research, and at the end you get a really cool item. But along that way, along the line somewhere, you get Zephyr, which is the bow, and it's really good. You also want to do companions, just because it sort of fits with the whole ranger, hunter sort of feel, and it's a really good quest line to do if you're playing the ranger. You can also do Dawn Guard if you want. I mean, you have the DLC for Lost to the Ages and Zephyr. You might as well play the Dawn Guard as well. And as always, I included the main quest line because it's awesome to play. And if you're watching all my different builds and you're playing all of my different builds just to try them out, don't do the main quest line on every one because you'll get sick of it. Honestly, the reason I think I love the main quest line so much is because I never do it. Whenever I try new builds, I always try to move away from the main quest line, and I don't know. If I had played the main quest line on every build I did, I would hate it right now. I would absolutely despise it, but I don't. And that makes me love it so much because it's really it's what Skyrim was made to be. All the extra stuff was just extra implemented, but the entire point, the idea behind Skyrim when they made it is the main quest line, and you can really tell when you're playing through it. And the main quest line, oh my god, it's just amazing. I mean, going to Sovngarde, it is like the best feeling you can ever have in all of Skyrim. It's something so different. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Let's get out of here. So yeah, that was it, guys. Thanks for watching. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video the new intro that I made, and you'll also see the seriously, I lose my voice trail now. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. So you probably noticed the intro at the beginning of my video, and there's also going to be an outro at the end of my video. Those I both made today, and let me know what you think in the comments below how they are, because I just made them and I realized that my 25-second long intro was way too freaking long. So yeah, now this one's 7, and the outro I think is 15. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about that. Yeah, this has been Shadane with the Ranger. Thanks again for watching. See you later, guys.